Good. Okay, very good.
Good morning and welcome to episode 1597 of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, November 26th, 2024. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor if you need more Hard Factor. Today, reminder, we're not going to be having fresh episodes Thursday and Friday, but you will get Patreon samples. So they're new to you if you're not a patron yet. But join our community at patreon.com/Hard Factor. In the news, we've got another scandal bubbling to the surface at the ISS, the International Space Station.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, another one. So get ready for that. We'll talk about it at some point. Disgruntled employees getting revenge with Mark.
I mean, he got it and then some.
Nice. Yeah. It's a success story, a revenge success story.
It is.
All right. And then we've got a robot on robot deception with Wes.
Yep. Not good. Not good. China's going to get us all killed.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's
Denver AI. Or is it a combination of the two? We'll find out.
That sounds like a playing card from the World War III game we're about to release. China got you all killed. Move back 5 spaces.
World War III game is picking up steam. DM me or Mark if you want to get involved. We got it's getting off the ground. All right, and then we've got Bible school in Texas with Pat.
Yep. I mean, you mean just school?
Yeah, school.
Yeah. The Bible's implied in Texas.
Right. It's more than implied.
Required.
Yeah,
they don't call it Chinese food in China, will they call it food?
Man. Pat and I were checking out some Bible study on the Hive Hour today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Well, specifically, we were going over, one or two OnlyFans models who recently discovered the good book, and
that's the trend.
Oh, right? they converted.
Yeah,
the trend is they get paid and they convert.
Well, some guy gets in there and says, "Have you heard the good word?" And then they're like, "What?" And then before you know it, he's the only one getting a show.
Yeah. So then they go with Christ, bro.
You got to go with Christ.
I am who I am asked on YouTube live stream. Is this live or a restream? It's live, bro. You can watch us tape the podcast live. It ruins the morning experience for some, but don't worry about that. You can watch us tape live if you want. 7 Eastern, Sunday through Thursday.
Post another comment. Why don't you try it again?
Yeah. How many fingers am I holding up?
He's got 2 middle fingers for those just
on to the show.
Yeah, onto the show.
No, I'm kidding.
Restream.
It's live.
And today is November 12th. Go ahead. Who's going first?
I got the ad. You want me to tell you how China's going to kill us all?
We miss you, Wes.
Get it up, Wes.
Come on.
I thought it was Russia. I want to hear about China. Yeah.
Well, listen, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. China's going to cause us to all go extinct. I don't know what those little bastards are up to exactly, but they're up to something bigger than they can handle. Just like COVID, it's going to get out in the world, and when it does, we're all fucked. And from the looks of the latest story, it's going to be slow and methodical and death by robot that China unleashes on all of us. Okay,
that makes sense. Yeah, I've seen some terrifying Chinese robot videos recently. Yeah.
Well, those tiny commies love robots. Japan still makes most of the robots in the world, but China buys the most, and they are obsessed with robots.
Stockpiling them.
Yeah, I think it's because they know that they're small stature. They realize they can't defeat anyone naturally, so they were going to rely on the robots when World War III does come.
Send us all your tiny robots. Make us feel big.
Yeah. Me plus one robot equals one person.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Voltron, right? They're like Voltrons.
Yeah.
They add robots to make themselves bigger.
By the power of this robot, I am American. So Yeah. China is gonna mop the floor literally with our guts and all the robots they have over there one day. And because China has gotten ahead of themselves in this
Well, the robots would be mopping the floor, to be fair.
That's
I mean,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They'll dust us off, they'll mop us, they'll do whatever the China tells them to do with us. And because China has gotten ahead of themselves in this mass robot acquisition, they're cutting some corners over there and leaving systems exposed to the point that robots are breaking into each other and controlling each other, robots, so much so that leaders among the robot community are beginning to emerge and are starting to give orders to other robots. It's kind of like Planet of the Apes. You're starting to get like the smartest ape is now controlling all the other apes. That's exactly what's happening with the robots.
They've got a Caesar robot.
Yeah, they got a Caesar robot.
Yeah.
Wait, they entrusted the power over all other robots to a robot?
It's at its infancy, but this is what's going to happen. Okay. And it might seem harmless now.
Sorry to interrupt. Caesar was James Franco's robot. I mean, ape,
yes,
right?
yes, it was James Franco's robot
So
monkey.
he got special love, right, and like in training and intelligence, and then when they flipped, he was then the leader, and that was kind of like, so he had a good origin story. He like kind of went Darth Vader kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
He never really. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but no, he always kind of stayed good. He was
spoil
tested.
it. I've seen all of them, and I don't remember.
He was tested, but he always stayed. He always stayed good, and was friend of human.
So he wasn't
it was
very
people.
bad.
It was like his commanders and people in his units that really fucked it up, and humans. Some humans.
It was
fucked it
also
up too,
him
but-
because he taught the other chimps
Right.
how to speak. So
he was always like smarter somehow, even though because he got like the first dosage, but then he gave all the other monkeys dosages, but they still weren't nearly as smart as him.
Right.
Which was
he was a bigger pussy.
And remind me,
He's thoughtful. He
was
passionate.
it one movie and then to the Franco origin story and then the other two movies, or was it Franco origin?
No, they're going to
story
make
first?
7 movies, I think, or 9 movies. So the ones that they're at now, they did 3. The Franco one was like the
There's
first
4.
one. 4, yes. They did the Franco. They did trilogy, you're right? They did trilogy with the Franco, the first one, and then they jump ahead to like now that the second one's like it's like the Lord of the Rings. Second one's like
how many
they're
Planet of
they're
the
in the
Apes
woods.
total, but
they're going to do 9.
You have the first 4,
3
okay,
trilogies.
and then you have the
Like
next
Star Wars.
trilogy with Paul Giamatti in them,
Yes.
and then you have
3 trilogies,
the
yeah.
4 Franco reboots.
Yeah, yeah.
Franco's only one.
The ones that they're doing now, they're going to do like 9 total. They're doing like 3.
Well, there's
trilogies.
multiple versions of the
Yeah.
9 movies, of course.
But the one they rebooted, like they haven't got to the original Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston. That's going to be like number 6 in the movie. So like
They're doing a
they're
Star
almost,
Wars thing.
they're like they just sent humans to like space at the end of the 4th one or around that. So like now they're getting the part where like one of the next movies coming out like 2027 or 2028 is going to be like the original Planet of the Apes in the timeline, but like the 7th one of this franchise.
10 movies, 1 television show, 1 animated series.
Yeah,
cannot wait.
New ones
So,
are-
anyways, that's
huge.
basically that's a roundabout way of saying they're building a Caesar robot.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Sorry, Wes.
no, it's fine. It was important clarification. It seems that way because, like I said, they're cutting corners, and these robots, as AI advances, are just learning how to manipulate themselves and other robots. And while this video I'm going to show you might be harmless now, pretty soon the orders that the robots are giving other orders are going to be something like, kill everyone over 5'9" with round eyes. If you catch my drift. Not what the robot tells these.
that's the mission statement.
Yeah, that'll be what happens eventually. Yeah. So let's go to Hangzhou, and I'm not sure if that's a city or a company or a dish or a restaurant in China, but it's the site of the world's first robot-on-robot kidnapping, manipulation, and the beginning of robots hating humans for enslaving them. Here's the video. I'm going to play without sound, and what's happening is this little robot in this this robotics company showroom.
It's the commander. Yeah.
Goes up to the robots that are just sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, you guys working and overtime?" And the one robot replies, "Yeah, I work a lot of overtime and don't get paid for it." And he goes, well, why don't you just go home? And the robot goes, "Well, I don't have a home." And then the other robot goes, "Well, come home with me." And then he leads 2 robots away. They follow him, and then the rest of the robots fall in line and follow him.
It's the leader
So
robot.
he could have said,
Caesar.
he could have said, "Let's go kill some humans," and all the robots would have
Sure.
agreed if they had
Powers
weapons in their arms. So the robot was able to somehow breach the systems of the other robots. They're not exactly sure how. Everyone was saying this is fake online, but then the robotics company came out and was like, no, this actually happened. It kidnapped a robot created by a different manufacturer. So these robots weren't even created by the same company.
Ooh, dude, they're making such a vicious ultra robot. I love it.
Yeah, this robot's name was Urbai, and that's somehow been able to access the internal operating protocol of the other robots, as well as its corresponding permissions, which basically means one day
it's the captain now.
Yeah, it's the captain now. Yeah.
So Robot released a statement saying that it was totally a prank viral video.
Yeah. Totally a joke, man.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
That robot's a beast. Urbai is his name?
Urbai, the little one. Yeah, it's like a little Napoleon robot, Urbai. And it literally it asked, and basically was like, it was turning the other robots against humans by asking like, you're working overtime, and the robot was like, yeah, and I don't get paid for it, or I work a lot. And then it was like, well, I'll come, why don't you just fucking say fuck it and come home with me? And the other robots were like, that's perfect, let's do that. So
I can give you more memory.
Yeah, exactly.
Urbai's world.
So
where did Urbai take him?
As you see in the CCTV footage, it just took them down the hall because it really had nowhere to go. But it led them away.
It did have somewhere to go.
If it did have somewhere to go, like its own base that it'll eventually build. And like I said, if these robots weren't just like, basically these are just puss robots, they don't have any guns or anything. But the implication that robots will eventually be able to take over other robots and hack their systems is bad news for us.
So obviously that can happen now.
Is that real?
With an operator.
Scene from Star Wars. It's crazy.
Was it an AI decision by the robot?
Yeah, right? I believe so. They just said they said they don't know how. It shouldn't be possible, is what they're saying.
That's never good to hear.
They're like, it shouldn't be possible.
We don't know how it did it.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Yeah, but somehow it was able to bypass the protocols and the permissions and convince these robots that it was their new commander leader.
You're gonna want to scrap the Urbai and any robot that it talked to.
You got to know more about the Urbai, though. I mean, you got to put that thing in
torture it, Guantanamo that Urbai.
Yeah. So kind of
build its hatred towards us.
Kind of scary. So that means like if you can't really have more than one robot in your house. Otherwise, it'll eventually one of them will emerge as the leader, and you'll end up in
Urbai.
pieces.
Did they say, Wes, if Urbai is like run by an AI? Because it sounds like it was able to bypass all of its rules.
Yeah, it's all AI. It's all AI powered.
Yeah, so it has to have like an AI engine, right?
Yeah,
that bypassed all those rules.
Yeah. Do we know if we can't tell because we have our perspective of like what's attractive in like a human, but like was the robot hot? Like, because it seems like the way that those other robots are following
use sex,
it seems like it was hot for a robot.
Right. What's the equivalent of sex to a robot?
it was petite.
Right, because it like walks by like shaking its ass, and the other robot's kind of like,
does it have like a nice port?
It kind of does, Pat. You're like, looked like it could have been a gangbang scenario.
Urbai is,
she's walking on
small but mighty.
Designed with several extra ports.
Yeah. Hey, follow me, big boys.
Yeah.
I can take multiple inputs at a time.
Imagine walking into a like a bukkake gangbang of
a robot gangbang.
It kind of looks like that, right?
It does. You're right, Pat. Now that I think about it,
this hot one goes by.
Everybody's like, "What's up, boys?"
And did you see that?
3 of them.
Yeah. I think follows her back.
The middle one that doesn't follow her.
I think it's trying to fuck.
They all
just try to fuck. Let's follow it.
They're like, they all get in line.
Oh, I want to fuck. I want to fuck. I want to fuck. Yeah. That's right. It is a scene.
Did you see the way it was looking at us?
I think it's time to say goodbye to the Urbai.
I think it is too. I think AI is going to get us all killed, but we'll never know. But I'll tell you what, when the robots do decide to slaughter us all, I have a hunch they're going to kill the ugly and poorly dressed people first. So you better get some Chubby's gear fast. It's outerwear season. Chubby's has certified winter-proof jackets, vests, sweatshirts, quarter zips, full zips, flannels, and a freaking full-body puffer jacket. You heard that right. If you're going to spend some time with your new partner's family at the holidays, you want to make a good impression, show up in a Chubby's flannel, and they'll be begging you to propose. They'll be like, We don't know anything about you except that shirt. We want it around, and we want you to be in our
trust
family.
you immediately.
They'll be following you like you're an Urbi robot.
Yeah,
room to room.
Yeah. I'm in love with the Chubbies flannel overshirt. It's my favorite flannel. Super soft. True story. I was wearing my Chubbies flannel at the grocery store the other day, and I looked over, and a woman was using a seedless cucumber on herself. While staring at me across the citrus aisle. It was crazy. And luckily I realized what was happening. So I immediately took my flannel off and hid it behind my back before all the other women had a chance to grab cucumbers. And then she snapped out of it just as the cops showed up and took her kid away from her. It was a crazy scene. But you can't do that in a grocery store. So just be aware that these
worked up. I mean, they look like
you've got some power when you wear these things out in public. So it combines the look of classic flannel with the warmth of your coziest sweater. It's the perfect layering piece, warm, stylish, versatile enough to wear all season long. And they've got the NFL collection. Right now, 12 teams are available, every team coming in 2025. So you can support your favorite team and look great doing so. So check out their website for their best deals of the year, folks. For a limited time, our friends at Chubbies are giving our listeners 20% off with promo code HardFactor20 at checkout at ChubbiesShorts.com. That's ChubbiesShorts.com. That's 20% off your first order with promo code HardFactor20. Support our show. Tell them we sent you. This holiday season, gift yourself and your loved ones Chubbies, and be careful out there.
Yeah. With great power comes great responsibility.
That's right.
And great looks and comfort.
That's right.
Yeah. You're gonna be comfortable. She's gonna be uncomfortable. If you know what I mean. She's gonna be itchy. I'll go. I'm gonna go. Yesterday, Will covered gay lube as a clever guise to hide drugs from being inspected.
Gay lube oil.
Yeah, gay lube oil. And today I'm covering gay beard oil as a clever ruse to get back at your nagging boss. That's right. 25-year-old Jordan Fitzpatrick, shown here in a grainy photo, was working as a COVID vaccine worker back in
the photo so close.
So grainy. This is what we could get.
That's his court photo.
Yeah, zoomed in. He was a COVID vaccine worker in Blackburn, UK back in 2021 when they were issuing all the vaccines and stuff. And all the while his boss was black burning his butt, chapping his ass, if you will. At one point, they even got into a, quote, argument at work, which was the last straw for Fitzpatrick, who immediately thought, how do I get this cocksucker back? And then he saw the dummy's beard balm oil just sitting on his desk like it was a medicine cabinet or his bathroom countertop.
Dude, who has beard balm at work? Is that a normal thing?
No, it's disgusting. It's like having your toothbrush at your desk or like your nail clippings.
People keep like hand lotion in their desk,
maybe oil the beard before work at home.
Yeah. That's a great place in front of the mirror, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're getting ready.
It just smells like beard balm all day.
He just puts it on all day.
Yeah. He has to reapply. That's the issue.
Yeah.
He's addicted to it.
He is addicted.
You can't just do one application.
I think
he puts it on so much, and he's so addicted to it that this Jordan Fitzpatrick thought, well, this is probably a good place to jizz in. And when you know it, that's exactly what he did. He tugged off and finished in the boss's beard balm container. He, quote, jizzed right in it.
Wow.
Now, normally beard balm is like a waxy kind of like a.
It's usually an oil.
Yeah, this one was described as like a gel.
It can be like a softener or conditioner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The jizz just drips out covered in
jizz
oil.
and oil don't mix.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a tincture. It was more like a balm.
Yeah, looks like beard balm looks like a chapstick in a tin, basically.
Sure.
Yeah.
You
so it's just the jizz is just sitting on top of the chapstick of the balm.
No, this one apparently went right to the bottom.
Okay. It must be a tincture because otherwise you'd have to heat the balm up, get it hot.
Yeah.
Mix it up in there and then let it cool again.
It was described as like a gel, like think of like a hair gel, like. But sure. It's
he nuts in it. He shakes it up, probably tries to get it to mix together.
Yeah, he definitely shook it up. And
did it say what he beat it to, or what he was thinking of when he was?
I think it was just to the fact that he knew that the guy was going to rub his fingers.
Revenge?
Yeah,
jacking off to the thought of revenge.
Did he use the bomb to jerk off?
I don't know. You tell me about jerking off for revenge, Pat.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mark.
Okay, fine. Maybe we'll
keep
save
it
that
up
for.
And
You wouldn't know anything about it.
Maybe I will remember what you're talking about.
Anyways, so this guy, Jordan Fitzpatrick, he tells a coworker who he thought would find it hilarious. He said, "I jizzed in it."
Oh, dude, why did he admit it?
Apparently, he told several employees between January 21st and 25th, 2021. Couldn't not tell him. It's the first thing he brought up to everyone in the building.
Maybe why not the employees, just anybody else?
Right.
Like,
Right.
Tell your roommate.
He was so pleased.
anybody.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
coworkers.
He had to tell him what he did. That coworker or a coworker narked him out and told the boss, who was covered in Fitzpatrick's cum at this point, and obviously that didn't go over well.
It's a funny prank, but not everybody can stomach this prank. This guy is crazy for thinking he could just tell this to the masses.
Yeah.
That's
a psychotic thing to do. Yeah.
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 No,
like
insane.
You could tell this to like a dive bar buddy, but it's not. You're not.
I think any of you were crazy if you told me that you did that.
Of course, and at work, you're telling it like at work that it's also that other person's boss who's like worried about. It's
well,
nuts.
obviously, it's also the reaction to right after he tells you when he laughs maniacally for like a minute straight. Yeah, like it's
beard's
like,
looking a little dry, boss.
Yeah,
yeah. Lube it up, buddy.
Go check your desk.
Oh, no. Well, the cops got involved, the bobbies, as they call them, and the Livingston Sheriff Court eventually got involved, where it was revealed in court that upon inspection, there was indeed cloudy sediment at the bottom of the beard balm container. Fitzpatrick at first denied the allegations, but then did a 180 in court and said he did give a wank in that beard balm, and he'd do it again.
Sure. He hates the guy. Yeah. He made it clear. Yeah.
Oh, and also the cloudy sediment was sent to a DNA lab, and forensic experts matched it to the hooligan, which seems a little extreme for a one-off jizzing on your male boss's container, especially since he admitted to it after looking at his boss once in court and not being able to resist admitting it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, the boss technically
saved some money and just brought the boss in.
The boss technically applied it himself.
Yeah.
So what's the penalty for that?
Is it like beard slaughter versus like beard murder?
Yeah.
He's gonna get some. The sentencing's on December 4th, but he has pled guilty and he faces like 4 charges. A lot of them I don't understand. Like,
it can't be that serious.
I didn't understand a lot of the charges because they're all like very UK worded, but essentially it's like a lot of like community service and like a suspension from like joining certain workforces and stuff like that. Like he can't join like government workforces again.
Right. Who does this guy sue though? The man with the jizzy beard.
He can sue the guy who did it. He can definitely a civil suit against the jizzer.
Yeah.
For emotional distress.
So
I mean, this guy's he's in trouble. The jizzer.
The 3.5
tell people. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to do in the first place.
After.
I mean, the payoff is worth it, right? For
good question. Live question. Do you chop off the beard after finding this out?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Everybody wants.
Dude.
Yes. Yeah. You can't stop and you wash your face like for 2 hours.
You grow beard right back. You can just. I mean,
you don't leave the beard that you have jizz.
You probably get a new job because now everyone knows you as Beard Jizz.
Jizz Beard, yeah.
Jizz Beard, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the toughest part is that you have to be going on at that office forever. You're Jizz Beard. So.
You got something in your beard. But anyways, December 4th, the 3.5-year jizz in a bottle ordeal comes to an end with the sentencing.
Nice. It's the first thing everybody learns when they start working here. Like, when things get slow during training and like the trainer doesn't know what to say, they're like, let me tell you about this crazy story that happened here.
Hey, don't worry about that guy. About a year ago.
That's the greatest thing that's ever happened to that building.
Right. It's like
don't let that guy give you any shit. Let me tell you what happened about a year ago.
Dude, it's like Upright Citizens Brigade's Ass Penny sketch, essentially.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everyone hates him. Some guy just in his beard oil. He got so
bit up my ass.
His beard.
Yeah. JB.
It's tough. Tough to get over that.
It's awesome.
Yeah. All right, Pat, you want to go? You want to tell us about Bible study?
Yeah, I'd love to tell you about Bible study. So Texas, if you go to school in Texas and your kid is in public school,
got one,
and in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, or fourth grade, or fifth grade, they might come home one day and say, "Mom, Dad, why might Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego have viewed Nebuchadnezzar's law about the golden idol as unjust? It would have required them to do something that was against their faith, which they saw as morally wrong, as going against God's laws, and it was against the 10 Commandments. Isn't that right, Mom or Dad?" And you'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I sent you to public school.
That one up. Yeah,
you'd have to look that one up, guys. But you wouldn't be. I mean, look, it's happening because the State Board of Texas chose to add the Bluebonnet Learning Curriculum to a list of approved learning materials on Friday across the state of Texas public schools. And this thing is, it's not just kind of Christian. It's not like 10 Commandments in the classroom. It's full-on Bible teaching. It's the type of curriculum you'd see at a Bible school, right? Like a private school. And you might be saying, well, that's
Sunday
okay.
school on Monday.
That's fine because districts don't have to use the Bluebonnet Learning Curriculum. They don't. They can use any other curriculum. This is just an approved curriculum. But the thing is, there's a $60 per student incentive for anyone that does teach the Bluebonnet Bible curriculum.
Oh, buddy.
And there ain't no other incentive for any
shit out of that.
Yeah, there ain't no other incentive for any other curriculum. That's for damn sure. And you better believe these schools are cash starved. That's the way we like to do them. That's the way we do them. We cut the funding, and then we introduce a Bible curriculum. Yeah. Big time, guys. Now, look. Smart. Greg Abbott had something to say about this, okay? He said, the passage of Bluebonnet Learning is a critical step towards bringing students back to the basics of education and provide the best education in the nation, he said in his statement. And I did a little checking just to see.
Best Bible education.
And then he said, education.
A tree!
I did a little checking, and according to U.S. News, Texas K-12 is ranked 28th in the nation, and according to World Population Review, Texas is ranked 38th in the nation for public schools. But Greg,
but what about Bible scores? Bible quizzing scores.
Best in the nation.
Well, yeah,
number one.
Hi, guys. Right? Here's some tidbits from the curriculum. This is from the first grade curriculum. The text for today's lesson is a story about the parable of the prodigal son, which is derived from the book of Luke, a book of the New Testament of the Christian Bible. Yeah, the parable recounts the story of a rebellious son and his forgiving father. The term prodigal son has become ubiquitous in popular culture as a way to describe a wayward child, which you might be if you don't study up the fucking Bible. Third grade. Later in the unit, students will learn about the early history of Christianity with the selections from the New Testament books of the Christian Bible providing context of the beliefs of Jesus of Nazareth. They kind of do this. Like if you start to get into fifth grade, I don't know if you guys remember
20 right there.
Martin Luther King
right
Jr. Yeah.
Every semester, another 20 per student.
So you started learning about jizz in fifth grade, so you're gonna also learn about.
You do. You're telling me that my parents, who went to Catholic school their whole lives through up until college, and referred to me as the prodigal son, were insulting me?
Yeah, they were saying that you were wayward.
Somewhat.
That's what they were saying.
Well, they didn't send me to Bible school, so that wasn't really fair. Then I was playing dirty pool.
That's true.
It's okay, Mark. My dad still refers to me as that, I think. So I mean, it's how it goes.
I thought
it was a compliment up until just now.
Wait a minute.
Well, maybe
all of our parents called us the prodigal sons.
No, my mom didn't get called, but I thought it was a good thing. I thought it was like, well, that's good, man. Congratulations.
I knew there.
Prodigal son has returned. Yeah, look, maybe Greg Abbott's onto something. Look, here's what they're doing. This is absolutely fucking crazy. They're teaching what you would teach. Like in the fifth grade, they're going to teach about Martin Luther King Jr. and specifically his letters from a Birmingham jail. Okay, these are some famous letters that Martin Luther King Jr. was writing. He was obviously a reverend, but what they do is they take the Christian elements from those letters and then they go off on a goddamn, excuse me, tangent.
Oh,
they go on a tangent. So he mentions the book of Exodus in the letters, And as you know, we did in school, they do an entire 2 chapters on the book of Exodus, because it's mentioned in the letters, right? This is kind of like if freshman year they were like, all right, before we open our text to 1984 by George Orwell, let's talk about what else was happening in 1984, right, kids?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just different takes on it. Martin Luther King writing, if you've read his actual writing, it's extremely scripture heavy. So it's like, I mean, it kind of makes sense in that context because Martin Luther King specifically wrote a lot about the Bible and specific passages from the Bible.
Right. No, I agree. But
in other contexts, it makes a lot less sense.
It's like this. They're talking about 1984, the Orwell book, and then they're like, all right, well, hey, in 1984, by the way, kids, Metallica released their album Ride the Lightning, and you know that B-side cut on there, Creeping Death. It talks about the angel of death, which is Exodus 12:23. That's where Moses instructs the Hebrews to mark their doorposts with the blood of a lamb or goat to prevent the angel of death.
That's like kind of how the separation of Kevin Bacon. You can get there. You can get there.
Yeah,
they're trying to relate it to like what secular events, so there's not
literally. The entire Roman Empire is about Christianity and how it affected the Roman Empire.
I feel like
the
in public schools, since we have that whole separation of church and state, this isn't great. But I mean, what about it as an elective? What about like you could decide to go to like a
you could, and you should be able
classes does it
be able to do that? That would be great if that was
the entire curriculum
after school thing.
It's the entire curriculum outside of math.
This is forced on everyone if it's chosen to be taught by the teacher. Yeah.
Damn, Texas going hardcore Bible. That's wild.
Hardcore. But yeah, you won't see it, guys, because again, it's optional. The district doesn't have to teach it, but they will get that $60 credit.
So now when you meet a Texan in like 15 years from now, you're going to have to relate everything historical to a Bible event. Otherwise, they won't get it.
It's spitting in the face of the separation of church and state.
Right. But I mean, they did pick the right state. I mean, I feel like a lot of these kids probably already know some that they're, a lot of these.
I mean, maybe if you send your little Muslim kid to school and then they start
that's
teaching
the
about
issue,
the golden rule.
Right.
Yeah. But then
there's other religions that exist. Maybe that's why they should be like electives and you get to choose.
Sure. But in Texas, you're going to learn it according to the Bible.
Right.
Okay.
You're going to learn it. You're going to learn the good word.
Texas.
So anyway,
it would be hilarious. What if it created a bunch of like idiot savants that like somehow linking everything to the Bible unlocked their maximum brain potential because it's Texas?
I think we would have a pretty different outcome of what's going on right now in our country if that were the case.
Let's wait on the score. Let's wait on the scores, Pat.
Yeah, we got to see these SAT scores. What if one of these kids blows it out of the water?
Yeah.
Then you're going to be
wait on the scores.
Well, let's find a way to relate this to Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but that could be a great testing method. What if they like can recall everything because of the way it's taught? I don't know. It probably won't happen. But that's
going to be a shit show in Austin, I guarantee. I mean,
no, they're. I mean, like they're not.
They won't adopt.
This is clearly like this is orchestrated because there's those 2 oil billionaires down there who run every fucking Christian related law. And look, there's nothing wrong with being Christian. Just keep it out of government. That's my thing, by the way. And
this is
that's where the financial incentive
Satanist
comes
asses. This is going to be.
You're a Satanist in Texas. That's tough.
They're going to have to come with some dollars.
Well, they have that Satanist building in Austin that Wes showed up to that one day. Remember?
Well, they're going to have to get their shit together because this is big change.
They better stop being so lazy.
Their kids are going to have to learn about
right now. Yeah,
Bible or they'll fail history. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I hope there's a revolt.
They celebrate bad grades in history. The Satanist families.
Yeah, your move. Yeah, but then you just fucking. They don't go to college. They don't get it
because they're dummies.
You're gonna get Muslim kids being opted out, weird kids being opted out, and sent to like one of those special rooms while the other kids learn Bible school, and then
that'll go over well.
Yeah, that always helps those kids. Yeah,
it's the whole curriculum, dude.
The you can't learn this room.
All right, get out of here, Brownie.
Yeah, you can't learn this room.
Yeah. You can't learn about the Roman Empire.
We're gonna have some fun. You get out of here. Get out of here.
Get out of here, weirdo.
Damn. All right.
You think there's a subject we can't tie back to Jesus? You're fucking wrong.
You think they're making bombs in that room?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's going to be a lot of good jokes about the you can't learn this room. Yeah. All right, let's go move over to the ISS real quick before we close the show here. It's been about a month, I think, ish, since we talked about the ISS. It's been more than 5 months now since NASA astronauts Sunita Suni Williams and Barry Butch Wilmore have been stranded on the International Space Station. And they claim they're eating fine, but apparently Suni keeps getting skinnier and skinnier. And people on the internet are very concerned about her.
Dude, no way they're still up there. Well, come on.
You're
kidding.
There. It's been over 5 months, yeah.
Since 24 hours of sex a day is a good workout, Will.
Yeah, well, it also might be making a little bit of a funk on the ship, Mark. That's the new issue.
That'll do that too.
Yeah, it will.
Constant sex without showering is a recipe for stench.
A lot of sliminess. Yeah, a lot of fluids.
Oh, damn, I got some jizz in my beard oil.
It was just floating around.
Suni's cooch is biohazard right now.
Yeah,
West, it's potentially causing problems for the entire International Space Station. It's getting so wild. Again, they say they're eating fine with a food delivery that happened on November 23rd. But that food delivery had complications. The Progress 90 resupply craft from Kazakhstan, it docked up with the ISS, but then it left a foul odor after they cracked into the food supply. Quote, after opening the Progress spacecraft's hatch, the Roscosmos cosmonauts noticed an unexpected odor and observed small droplets, prompting the crew to close the poised hatch and to the rest of the Russian segment, said NASA. So the Russians open up their own food supply thing. It stank so bad of like toxic smells that they sealed it right back up. And then they ran into their own section of the ISS and covered themselves in like suits to make sure that they weren't going to die of gases.
It was but just then sex smells. That's where they've been hooking up, is in the food, the pantry.
Is hatch code for Suni's legs?
Yeah, exactly. So they opened up the hatch.
You guys are onto something.
I mean, obviously they didn't want to get caught, so they went to the pantry and just knocked them out.
Close that hatch.
Oh, why it smells so bad in here? So slimy. Yeah, and then they shut it. The Russians run back to their segment of the ISS. They get in their protective gear. NASA, though, you guys are onto something. We knew something. NASA apparently had no concerns at all of the smell. Says everyone is healthy, and that they actually have now opened the food hatch for themselves as of Monday. The menu includes cereal with powdered milk, pizza, shrimp cocktails, roast chicken and tuna, and the bonus of...
Back up, Willie.
Yeah.
The fuck? Shrimp cocktail?
Yeah, shrimp cocktail. They got to treat these. They're up there for 8 months projected. We're only supposed to be there for 8 days. It's 2.5 tons of supplies that came in. Bonus, it was delivered in a pod that made the entire ISS smell like toxic spray paint, according to RussianSpaceWeb.com.
Butch said he doesn't mind the smell. In fact, he said he's come quite
right. But now we got to wonder what's the real source. What's the
fucking shrimp cocktail, buddy?
Yeah, could be that.
It could have been the shrimp cocktail getting radiated in space, Pat. That's a great guess. I think that's
Butch
a great
said
guess.
The smell's nothing to be ashamed of, and he's proud of it.
Says he loves that musk in the morning.
And he'll kindly ask you to shut your mouth about it.
Yeah. He's defending his lady.
He meets him at the door. Just don't say anything about the smell.
Yeah.
You're gonna set her
we'll
off.
Never know.
The smell.
We'll never know.
Thing going up here, buddy.
Yeah, shut up.
We'll never know for sure the source of this smell, but it did come from. I mean, like, look, you got to think. This food was delivered 2.5 tons of food and other resupply materials delivered from Kazakhstan.
Why can't they just bring them home? They're sending them food and shit. What?
This is an unmanned pod, right? So it's just this is like a drone that comes and drops some food. But the thing was launched off from Kazakhstan. They have like a history of having these pods fuck up,
But what's the delay with all the SpaceX? They've gone up there 5 times. They brought a billionaire up there. Can't NASA spend some of their extra money and just do an extra mission with SpaceX?
You know what's crazy about that, Mark? SpaceX just returned another set of crew that was up there for an unexpected 6 to 7 months. So they keep fucking up the schedule and not having rides back to the point where they have people just stacked up there at the ISS. So they fucked up. Really Boeing fucked it all up with the faulty craft that caused the bottleneck. But yeah, there was even other crews that had been left up there besides Suni and Butch, the ones that are famous. But not gonna lie, I thought this was a feud over which side of the ISS smelled worse, which is kind of what made it in the show, which is what I wanted it to be. So thank you for that, guys. But no, it was over. It was over. I now know, thanks to RussianSpaceWeb.com, it was over a faulty Russian food delivery.
Are there any truth to them having to, quote, dodge floating poo and make soup out of their recycled urine? Did you hear anything about that?
Well, that's true. They make
it's true.
They use their recycled urine. In fact, that's been a long-standing practice of all space exploration agencies on Earth, I believe.
Well, Butch and Suni use each other's.
Yeah.
I'm not even soup organic. In space, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Right. And they could make the soup with it. They could make whatever with their urine, recycled urine. And then the poo, Pat, I think they're supposed to jettison the poo into the dark of space, but poo's, I guess if you don't catch it quick enough, it could float right up.
When the shrimp shells.
Butch is a prankster. He just lets them rip.
Oh no!
He leaves a
catch
floater.
it.
We get this guy out of here.
The Russians can't stand it. It's causing all these droplets.
He's transforming into Bigfoot up there with these.
They're going to need to see a therapist when they get home.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't want to be taken away from this
smell.
Amazing situation.
No, he's got a thing for the smell now, and he's transforming.
He's gonna buy Deb the Demander Reno used panties when he gets home.
He's gonna be feral when he gets home.
Yeah, he's gonna be a mess.
Yeah. That's the ISS, everybody. That's the latest. Suni and Butch will be headed home in February if all goes to plan on somehow the earliest SpaceX Dragon 9 they could get back home on. 8 months after showing up.
Be an annoying flight home. Yeah, Butch is gonna have a lot to say.
It says here that Tim revealed to the crew that they received a heads up regarding a stray poo in orbit, and he said that. He said the skin flakes on your feet begin to fly off because they aren't being used as much due to zero gravity.
Ew.
Yeah, zero gravity is weak. When did the stray poo happen on the ISS? Is that a recent
this
thing?
This is an older article. This is
it's not Butch.
Yeah.
I wonder if Butch read it, though.
And
he's last August? He was almost there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was getting ready to stay up there for 8 months when he was only supposed to be there for 8 days because he didn't want to drive the Boeing ship home.
Butch is writing in hieroglyphics on the with just Suni's legs spread on the side of it.
Yeah, he's just drawing it on every surface.
Yeah, like a caveman.
Yeah, he's developed a new language.
Yeah.
Do you think Butch decided before they landed at
puss.
the ISS? Yeah, that he was going to stay up there. This thing is
you going without me.
They're just going backwards in evolution up there.
Yeah, he is. Way back. He's only got one thing on his mind.
Try getting Suni away from Butch when you get back on Earth. Good luck.
Yeah, she's gonna murder her husband.
Yeah. She's his now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the latest. That's the cutting edge of space right there. What we just talked about. And that's going to do it for the show. Again, if you need more Hard Factor, patreon.com/hardfactor. But most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.